Hello and welcome back to Across the Gulf Coast. Well, as you can see, we've made it to our Pensacola studio where now we're going to talk about events and organizations in Escambia County. The first one we're going to talk about is the Pensacola Museum of Art and some outstanding exhibits and programs that they have at the museum. Joining me to talk about that is Mary Hartshorn. She is the Director of Communications. Mary, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the museum overall. People have heard about the museum, but maybe not everybody has been down to the museum. Tell us where you're located and what some of the things are at the museum that people can go and visit.
Okay, we are on the corner of Main and Jefferson, 407 South Jefferson Street in downtown Pensacola. So we actually are the old city jail, and we were turned into a museum in like the mid 1940s-ish, and we have our permanent collection. We have traveling exhibitions that rotate throughout the galleries in the museum. We offer educational classes. We have opening receptions and events. So it's really fun.
A lot of different things. So for your permanent exhibits, are they paintings, sculptures, a little mixture of everything?
Yeah, a little mixture of everything. We have an Andy Warhol, we have Picasso in our permanent collection. We just unveiled the newest piece to our permanent collection last night, actually, and it's a bronze sculpture of Abraham Lincoln, and it was done by Daniel Chester French, and he's the artist that did the Lincoln sculpture and the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.
So what is this new, I haven't seen it since I wasn't at the event, what does the new Lincoln work look like?
You've seen the Lincoln Memorial in D.C.,
Sure.
So it's just a miniature version of that, and he's bronze.
Now, what are some of the other types of things? You mentioned some exhibits and traveling exhibits. What are some types of traveling exhibits that you guys have coming through? I know last year, I guess it was in 2014, you guys had the Lego exhibit.
We had the Art of the Brick, which was a huge success. It brought in tons and tons of people, and people that wouldn't normally come to an art museum, which is great because we want to attract all types of demographics. So we had that, and we just had our fall blockbuster Guildhall. And that is the Guildhall Museum in New York. It's their traveling permanent collection, and it's more modern art, but it's all artists who either lived or worked on Long Island. So we had some Andy Warhols, Willem de Kooning, Jackson Pollock, Chuck Close.
So do these traveling exhibits, those really increase the visitation to the museum?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that we offer so many different kinds of exhibitions, and whenever they're traveling, when we bring in traveling exhibitions, it allows us to reach different demographics. Like Legos reached a whole different demographic than Guildhall.
Absolutely, sure. Well, let's talk about an upcoming event, which is why you're here, to talk about the one that you guys have coming in February. Tell us a little bit about what's in tap for the museum.
Well, Color and Freedom, the journey of the Underground Railroad, Cox Communications and the Gulf Coast African American Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring this exhibition, and it's artist Joseph Holston, and he does around 40 works, paintings depicting the Underground Railroad and the journey that those people took. And I haven't seen it in person yet, obviously, but the images I have seen are so beautiful and so colorful and vibrant. And the artist really tells such a beautiful story, about such an awful time in American history.
Absolutely. So when a traveling exhibit like this comes in, will you set up the Color and Freedom in a different location? Is it spread out throughout the museum? How's that set up?
It'll be in our 2 downstairs galleries. And yeah, it's kind of neat to see our curator transform the galleries from one exhibition to another. Like right now we have an Alice in Wonderland exhibition, so it's colorful and playful, and now we're moving to something more serious.
Right.
So I'm not sure what she has planned, but I'm sure it'll look amazing.
That's why she does it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you mentioned that you guys had an event for the Lincoln Memorial unveiling. Will there be an event for this unveiling, and is the public invited?
Yes, absolutely. All of our opening receptions are free and open to the public, and we welcome anyone. They're really exciting. We spend a lot of time preparing, and so it's like, we spend weeks and months preparing for this, and yeah, the opening receptions are always really fun.
So what is the process that goes into bringing in an exhibitor from out of town? Is it something you just contact them? Do they contact you? Kind of walk us through that a little bit.
I honestly don't know. That is the curator and our executive director. They kind of handle that, and we have a collections committee. So they kind of are in on that process.
They're always
as
on the
well.
lookout for new exhibits?
Yeah, as communications, I come in, and do the press releases and
sure,
stuff like
sure.
that. So.
And to go along with the Color and Freedom, there is another aspect of it you guys are having. Tell us a little bit about Our Voices Are Many.
Yeah, there's a local group called Our Voices Are Many, and they're going to be doing two performances, I believe. We may add a third, depending on how much traffic we get from the first two. And it's Saturday, February 21st and March 21st, which is also a Saturday. And they're going to come in and they're going to do freedom, poetry, songs, and dance.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, and of course, public obviously is invited
Yes.
to that. And public, like you mentioned, they're invited to everything at the museum.
Absolutely.
Let's switch gears just a little bit when we have about a minute or so left and talk about the local artist in Gallery 5 that you had mentioned. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yep, we're doing this new thing in Gallery 5, and we're bringing in local artists. Right now we have Pat Regan. She does beautiful paintings and sculptures, and she has a really big following in our community. And we're bringing in Dottie King. She won our annual member show this past year. We're going to have Margaret Biggs, and just tons of local artists. So it's cool to get to spotlight, people from our community.
The local community.
Yeah.
And I know people always, when they go to a museum or somewhere, they like to see maybe those images, the local images that they can relate to. So absolutely. Well, if you wouldn't mind, we're almost out of time. If you could give us again the location of the museum and then maybe the dates in which the Color and Freedom will be at the museum for people that would like to attend.
We're located at 407 South Jefferson Street. We're on the corner of Main Street and Jefferson. And Color and Freedom will be opening on February 6th.
And do you have a website, Facebook page, anything like that?
Yep,
people can
all
visit?
of that. It's PensacolaMuseum.org. And if you search Facebook for Pensacola Museum of Art, you'll find us.
Perfect.
So
Mary,
go like us.
Go like us, absolutely. Mary, thank you so much for being my guest today. I really appreciate it, and good luck with your exhibit this year.
Thank you.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll talk with the Pensacola City of Champions.